Okay, welcome everybody to Kick the Can Podcast, episode 14. As we head into middle of October, we've been getting a little lazy on the podcast. Matt's been busy. I've been lazy. But we'll try to get back into a groove. We'll recap everything. A few things on my mind. Matt's going to come on with me today, and we're going to toss some things back and forth. A couple of things I want to talk about. And Matt's going to give his take on the podcast experience and working with me and hearing the stories, and we're going to discuss how we're going to proceed. And I got a few things on my mind about just me in general, of course, and few things. I got a few people I want to mention today. First one being Matt is Ken Pizzo, Mom's lifetime friend.
Mm-hmm.
Debbie was her partner in life, bigger than life guy. We got to travel with him. Today's his anniversary. Unfortunately, he's gone for 4 years. Ken Pizzo, bigger than life. Big heart, generous guy. We got to go spend some time in Nantucket, Matt, when you guys were little. He would always feel like, the warmth he showed, and he really liked you guys, you and your brother. He thought, the Catholic school thing, and you kids were just well behaved. And he even though we really only knew him for about 20 years, he's with Debbie. He knew the importance of Mom's relationship with Debbie, and he was larger than life.
Legend.
Right. So we're gonna put a picture of myself and Ken in St. Bart's, and it's kind of a funny story. They've been going to St. Bart's from since forever. From like the year 2000, they've been going to St. Bart's, and they would say to my wife and myself, "Oh, come to St. Bart's, come to St. Bart's. We got a place to stay. Just get yourselves there." And we would always make an excuse, my wife and I. Oh, they got CYO, or Luke's got swimming, right, Matt? We would make these excuses like CYO, like you were going to go become an NBA basketball player. Well, and we stuck home for all those years and not go to St. Bart's till we finally went in 2016, and we couldn't believe it. We couldn't believe the time we had there, Mom and I. And Ken was so gracious. It was a real they show these places on these reality shows, and we were like right in it, partying with, it's a European crowd, a lot of day drinking, which is what I liked. And eat at these great restaurants. So the kick in the jaw is when we had, after 15 years of them inviting us, and not a year went by. Oh, we're going to be in St. Bart's, and they would go from almost beginning of February to almost Easter. I think, Matt, Ken had allergies. So whether in Florida or here, he had allergies that wouldn't kick his ass. So he just got out of town. So they would go to St. Bart's. And he wasn't he was like in a 6-bedroom house, really, lifestyle of the rich and famous. But he couldn't be more down to earth, and I wish you guys would have shared it. So once we finally got there, I'm going to put a picture of Ken and I just living the life in St. Bart's. But it's too bad Ken he got a raw deal with the cancer. So today's his 4 years. He's missed, and I wanted to acknowledge him to all my New Jersey friends and my New Jersey listeners. Right, Matt?
Yeah, his funeral was unbelievable
Right.
too. How many people were there?
A couple of thousand.
It was insane. Yeah.
Right. They had it in Del Barton, the church in Del Barton, or an auditorium, and the generosity and the tributes paid to this guy, a real self-made bricklayer, real estate developer, great guy. You never know it. And we had a lot of good times with him. The time he mooned you guys from the balcony in Florida. You just want to be part of the fun, all the time. And a good ball buster, too. He was a good guy. Really, I feel so fortunate to have spent time with Ken Pizzo and his whole family, actually. I don't know if any of them listen or they got wind of the podcast, but, the whole family, his children, his grandchildren, they treated us just like we were part of their family. No different. You're included. Even since Ken has passed, if they have some kind of a party down the shore, or you're included. Where are you? Can you come? They reach out all the time for us. Lovely people. So I wanted to mention Ken Pizzo today. So Matt's coming on with me today. We want also to. So we're up to exit episode 14. And that's the beauty of the podcast, man. I could just say whatever I want. Yeah. And in the beginning, after the first one, I was stumbling all over the place, making mistakes or remember things after. So I says, Matt, should we go back and go over stuff? And what did you tell me?
Oh, doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter, right?
You're just yourself.
Right. It's, you don't think of it as you're still trying to put your best foot forward. And it's something I never did before. Mm-hmm. Even with the video we just did, I mean, I didn't like it that much,
Yeah. And the amount of people that tell me, you're a natural at it, just
and I have fun with it. Mm-hmm. But like I told you, like I don't listen to the podcast because I don't like the sound of my voice. Mm-hmm. And now after we did that little video, I don't really like looking at myself either. But moving forward, I see these guys that they're going for a slice of pizza and they're putting it on Facebook. And so I think I'm going to start to do more of that moving forward. And I want to get a camera out here when we do the episodes, especially when somebody comes on with us, And the people that know me for 40 or 50 years, or maybe I don't see so many people that often. Not only they're hearing me, or they're listening to stories that they can relate to, and now they could see me too, And then this stuff will all be around for when I'm long gone. That's the fun part of it.
Yeah, it's like a time capsule.
I still, so we're 14 episodes in, and I think I still got a lot to say, and I'm going to keep bringing the guys on, or we'll rotate, Frankie with me again, and Larry and Albano will come back, and we'll just keep moving forward like that. I'll get your brother on here, if he could squeeze it in.
Got to do a lot of censoring.
Yeah, no, he's
no, he's good.
He'll be good. Another milestone I wanted to mention today is Sunday will be 15 years Gary Lab passed away, took his life, Gary Lab. Still, you wrap around a lifetime of a friendship, and then you limp to the end, and the guy, takes his own life. Boy, it really, really leaves an impression, especially on me. So I find myself always reflecting on the fun and the good times and all the things we did together, from high school, through in and out of college, and then ultimately traveling the world with him, with the entertainers and working, but building up memories too. Matt, Gary was Matt's godfather at communion, so that we were not
Baptism.
A baptism, right? At baptism, he was your godfather. So that just showed, I wanted to nod Gary for that. Years of friendship. Let him be the godfather for my second son. And we're going to put a picture up also. It's probably from maybe the mid-'90s, early '90s. It's Gary Lab with his son. His son looks like he's maybe 8 in that picture, 9. That's Boomer Labriola. And Danny Calaro's in the picture. And my son Luke, he looks to be around 2 or 3 years old. I'm finding that the value of these pictures is immense, because you could forget about a lot of the things, and a photo will just stir you back up, and it's just a picture, and you could think about. I started to look at that picture with us. They were already living in Florida, Danny and Gary. So my guess is we probably were going to go to a Yankee game that night. And if I remember right, Gary's son Boomer, he was like a front runner kind of a kid. He's got I think he's got a Mariners shirt on in that photo. And we were going to see the Mariners. And what I took away from that game was, it was the first time I remember the grounds crew doing the cleaning the field, like in the 5th inning, Matt, to YMCA.
7th inning stretch.
No, it was they come out, whatever inning, they brush the field with the thing.
Yeah.
So those guys, and the music's playing YMCA,
yeah.
And all of a sudden they drop the screens and they start dancing.
Yeah.
I never saw that, and I almost pissed my pants. It was so funny, and I think they still do that.
7th inning stretch at Yankee Stadium, they do it. Yeah.
YMCA.
Yep.
And those guys even became like celebrities, the grounds crew guys. So that was the game. It was memorable enough to go. I've been to a lot of games with Danny and Gary over the years. Super Bowls, plenty. Yankee games, World Series. They would come up north whenever it was important stuff. So we have a lot of memories of that, but not a lot of pictures. That was a rare one.
Where'd you get that picture?
I think it was we went through the photos.
One of those boxes?
Yeah. And it's a good picture. I hope everybody enjoys it. So, it's just another memory of Gary and with Danny. But, Gary's a funny guy, showbiz, as he thought. And he was really left the neighborhood pretty much by 20. Once he stopped playing softball, intermittently he would come and play in 45 field. He pretty much lost touch. But growing up, the labs were, there were just a lot of them in the neighborhood, a lot of stories. I'm going to try to do a whole episode on the labs, try to bring a couple of them on with me. They're priceless. There's loads of them, and they're priceless. A lot of memories with those guys. So one of the other pictures I'm putting up, that's another great thing about me putting myself out there like that. I got friends from 60 years ago, 10 years ago. People are sending me pictures. Just they come across, they go in a box, they see something. And so I got this picture just the other night. It's at a wedding. It's Jimbo Cantelmo's wedding. I didn't realize at the time. And I think it's late 70s. I don't remember when Jimbo got married, maybe 77, 78. So he's another guy approaching 50 years of marriage. And, as time marched on, we disconnect from Jimbo. But when I saw the picture, and I wasn't sure whose wedding it was, and then I asked the person, and so that was Jimbo's wedding. So in that picture is Larry Samili, Biz, his wife, myself, my friend, and then is Shady, and I think she was married at the time to Ronnie. And the other gentleman with the afro is, I believe, Nicky Letterisi. He was real close friends with Jimbo. Jimbo hung out Grace Dodge, Prospect, up on up there, and those guys hanged out. Nicky Letterisi, he was part of that crowd up there, and I'm not sure if Nicky Letterisi, the Letterisis were sort of like the Belmont Avenue version of the Labriolas. Loads of them, loads of cousins. They all played sports, but I started to think. I know when Frankie was here, we talked about all the sports and school PS45 on the asphalt field, and if I'm not mistaken, one of those Letterisi boys hit his head on the pavement and had a bad outcome. I don't know. I don't remember which one it was. I'm sure my fact checkers and guys that help me out here with the podcast keep me on track with what I get right and wrong. Somebody will refresh my memory on it. But out of the blue to get a photo like that is really priceless. And I was starting to think, before Jimbo got married, like everything else, he's single, I'm single. We were thick as thieves, clowning around, doing stuff. And now he got married, a baby came soon, and then it sort of just went off the tracks. And before you know it, it's 50 years, that it really didn't have a conversation with him or even sit down at a family thing. So I'm hoping, I'm going to try to get it on my radar. I'm hoping he listens to the podcast, which would be, I think, really great. And then sometime, if he's into it, come on with me, because there's certain stories that we have that he might remember that I forgot, and all the times they're just carousing around and remembering there. So if you're listening, any relatives of Jimbo or even Jimbo, just shoot me an email on the Kick the Can email. What is that, Matt?
kickthecanpod at Gmail.
kickthecanpod@gmail.com is the, and if Jimbo wants my phone number, he wants to chat it up, or he doesn't, maybe you don't give a shit. Fuck this, it could happen. Maybe he's not into it. Right? He could say, "Hey, I didn't talk to this guy in 50 years. Why, I got to talk to him?" But I think he'd be, I'm going to use the opportunity to reconnect with somebody and see if he's into it. And the picture from his wedding got me thinking a lot about Jimbo today and the fun that we had. You
have the same mustache right now.
I do?
Yeah.
This is salt and pepper, though. And funny you should say that, Matt. All the men in that picture have mustaches.
Yeah.
It's great. This mustache, I'm sure, is going to be half gray, half blonde, or something.
Yeah.
It's coming in good, though.
Yeah.
Mom loves it. You got to pick your spots, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So we'll see what happens with that. I wanted to recap a little bit of my last weekend because sometimes you get a little big-headed or overconfident about things, and that's generally seems to be how I roll sometimes. So you always need like a reality check to reel you back in. So this past weekend, Friday after work, Friday nights, I'm always no socializer for me. I'm really always tired on Friday nights. I don't like to do much. So to top it off, I had a cold hitting me pretty hard on Friday, So I come home, wasn't feeling good. I just really went to lay down, and my wife's car was at the mechanic, so they called. The car was ready. 2,800 later, so I wasn't happy about that. It happens, you can't drive without tires and brakes. So 2,800, sneezing, blowing my nose, no tissues, no cold medicine. So I'm just not good, not happy Friday night. So Saturday morning, I get up, hit the ground running, I think. Go to CVS. On the way to pick up the car, I go to CVS. Now my wife stays in the car. I go in to CVS. Right over there in Eastchester, there's a CVS. It looks nice from the outside. They painted the building. I go in there. I finally find what I need, which is nobody to help you. Get my stuff, my tissues, and my NyQuil or Mucinex or something. Go up. Nobody on the cash registers. So, Matt, I'm not big on the self-checkout. My philosophy is, I'm paying you. You're making profit on these tissues. You should have somebody here to process it. Let me pay and go on my way. So
I'm the opposite. I don't like
you're
dealing.
different
I don't like dealing with people.
Different generation too. Yeah. I don't even go to a coffee spot where you got to make your own coffee. I'm not going there.
Yeah.
You pour it. You're looking around. Is this the right color? Is this the right lid? Mm-hmm. Is the coffee 75 cents off because you made it yourself? No. So I don't buy coffee at any of those spots. Never. So now I know my wife's waiting in the car. I got to hit the self-checkout. So, all right, 3 items. I hit them up, scan them through. I scan the NyQuil or the Mucinex. They want my driver's license. This is not a person. It's this little, everybody's been to CVS with those little checkouts, screen. They want to see my proof of age because I bought cold medicine. Mm-hmm. So now I pull my wallet out, take the license out, I'm scanning it like you scan in a thing. So I press the help button. The help button goes off. Now, the help button doesn't ring an alarm in the whole store. It's like a little light right next to the self-checkout counter. A little light. So now I'm waiting. Now there's a line forming behind me.
Oh, no.
It didn't bother me, but there was a line forming behind me. But if everybody was watching, it's straight out up front why I'm having a trouble here. Mm-hmm. So finally this kid comes over, give the kid credit. He might not have been a high school kid, but he was young, And for you older friends, if you remember Bazooka Joe, he was the the little comic that you got in the Bazooka bubblegum. It was like a secret message. It was folded up, a little bit of comic book. But Palooka Joe, if I recall, he has some kind of red beanie hat that went backwards. Look it up,
I'll put a
Matt.
picture up.
Yeah, look up Bazooka Joe, Matt. Bazooka Joe.
Yeah, Bazooka gum.
Bazooka Joe. So this kid comes over.
He's got a black baseball cap on and an eye patch for some reason.
Bazooka Joe, no fancy hat, like he looks like he's in a wind tunnel.
No.
All right. So I had that wrong. But the kid comes over. He's got this hat on. It looked like if you had this huge afro and you wanted to just keep it in check, you would put this beanie on, but it wasn't closed. It was just like a huge headband, a thick headband, and he put it back, and his hair was well back. So he comes over, and he's not the manager. He's like the stock boy. He goes, we got to call the manager. Now, the line behind me is huge. I really didn't care that much. So he goes, I got to get the manager. I go, what do you mean get the manager? He goes, no, the manager has to punch a code in so you can go. I says, I'll tell the manager she can put the tissues and the Mucinex back on the shelf. I'm not waiting around anymore. So I walk out of the CVS, spiting myself because I really needed those tissues, But fortunately for me, where this CVS is, it's separated by a little row of hedges to a brand new Walgreens. So I go in there, I get my stuff, an actual person checked me out, and then I walk back to the CVS parking lot, and a gentleman came out of CVS. He goes, "You were having a hard time in there." I go, "Yeah, but from now on, Walgreens is my spot." The guy laughed. He took it all in stride. I needed that stuff. But there you go. You can't drink cold medicine if you're without proving how old you are. So that was just the morning part. We still didn't get to the mechanics yet, which didn't go well. You heard about that, right, Matt? We get to the mechanics, and you would think they were fixing the cars for free there in town. They only work like a half a day on Saturday. There's cars all over, moving in, moving out. So we get our car, pay the tab. Delinda drives off, and I follow her back. We're coming home. We get home. She says, no, this thing, the low pressure, one of the tires is low pressure. It shows it like, I'm sure everybody with a decent late model car has that tire pressure system, and it shows like the four wheels, and they're supposed to all be green. One of them was yellow. So I could see my wife is not, she wants to go back. She wants to go back there. So I said, you know what? I got the little portable air thing. I'll put it in, and we'll try to reset it. It didn't reset. Bottom line is, still, I wanted to try it again with my little air pump. My wife wanted to go back because not only did the pressure was either not right or it didn't reset, none of the brand new tires had a cap on the air valve stem. 0 for 4.
Wow.
So even me, who just paid that tab, come on, that's just not right. So I get it, you're busy. Well, what's going on there? So we have to go back. And as soon as they see us pull in, the owner jumps right out. I explained to him one of the tire pressure sensors not set right, showing low. And I said, really, Joe? There's no caps on none of these stems. You should have seen. This guy was personally insulted by the service he gave me. He went into the mechanic shop. He dragged out 7 mechanics, made them come out in the rain and he screamed at them.
Wow.
It was really impressive.
Yeah.
You know, that's how taken back this guy was. And, you know, come on, you got to do a better. Somebody along the line, there's only a couple of things to do when you do a tire. It's put the tire on the rim, put the air in, and check it, and put the cap on.
Yeah.
0 for 4.
Meanwhile, you didn't have a cashier at CVS.
Huh?
You didn't have a cashier at
Right,
CVS.
right. So there you go. There's what's that, like a take on the workforce?
Sure.
Yeah. Well, those guys are fixing cars. It's an honorable trade. You need guys to fix cars. AI is not going to be fixing cars, I don't think, Matt. So now we leave there, and we were all set up to go to my son Luke's. His apartment needed a few carpentry items and a few things. So needless to say, you know, my wife watches the baby at my son Luke's apartment, and all the doors in his apartment seem to stick. My wife's, you know, she's given, to get in from the deck, the door sticks, she's got to give the door like a body check to open it up. A body check means break your shoulder when you're 70 years old. So I'm here. The door sticks. You got to fix the door. You got to fix the door. Luke, you got to fix the door. I got to fix the door. So finally, I borrow a tool that I start to drift out of my lane with. It's one of these electric planers. It's like the width of a door, and you plug it in, and it just doesn't sand it. It chews up. It chews up the wood. You know. So I was leery about doing that, you know, in my son's apartment, in his house, dust, this and that. So I get there, and it went pretty good. I said, look, we got to take the door off the hinge, and I'll show you how to do it. And we'll take it outside and do all the dirty sanding on the deck. And we put it on. We took it off. Thing when you sand the door down, you want to see if it's still sticking. You got to put it back on. Mm-hmm. So we did it twice, but everybody was happy with the outcome. My wife, the door's a little bit easier for her to open, so that was resolved. So now I'm at Luke's. You know, he goes, "Oh, Dad, why don't we take the air conditioners out of the windows while you're here?" Okay, you know. These window units, I'm not really good at lifting things. I forget how we put them in, take them out. We just put them in, you know, back in the spring. So we take the one out in the first floor, and I can't help him carry it up the stairs. I can't do it. So he had to carry it up the steps and then right up to the attic steps, the one from the first floor. It went over. We got all the parts. He had a box for it up in the attic. We put it in the box. Beautiful. So now he has one up there on the second floor. Really simple to take out, I thought. So you get the tools up there. We start, and the window wasn't opening. For some reason, when I put the air conditioner in, they sell like a little bracket so that you can't accidentally open the window. And you screw it to the window and to the partially opened window. And you can't. So we're struggling. Finally, we realized we put that stop on there because it was I have it's my son, his new place, my daughter-in-law. I want the best for them. So, you know, I don't want the baby, 15 months old, opening that window. So we get the screw out, and now it seems to still be. We were wrestling the thing to get it into the bedroom. So we're messing around. Two of us, four hands. Finally, I had the unit in my hands, and Luke opened the window, and before you know it, that air conditioner was out the window and it's on its way down. And there's the reality check for Paulie. Come on, man. What's your story? Are you really ready to go out to pasture? I really took it hard. After the thing hit the dirt, and I just kept looking at it. I says, "Luke, I had it, but I didn't have it where the weight was. I should have had it like from those little accordion wings. I had it from the bottom. So it's almost like I was helping it out because the weight was all in the back and it didn't have that extra support bracket, which I think I'm going to put in next year when we put it back in. And down it went. Man, oh man, I really was defeated. I took it personal. You think you're on a roll. I really wasn't on too much of a roll up to that point, but I had to go downstairs. My son was so apologetic. He's taking the hit, but it was all on me because I had it in my hands, but just not in the right spot, and out it went. And it's really like a cartoon, I drop a window unit outside the window, right, man?
Yeah.
So now a week later, I can definitely see the lighter side of it, but I had to go down, sit down, take a deep breath, and what am I? I'm useless now. What am I down to? What can I fix now? Nothing? After using that electric planer.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it pretty much, I had to go home after that and just stare at the walls and take some cold medicine. They say take one, those little caps. So I took two. I still know how to party a little bit. So I took 2 caps, started to feel a little better. But that was a tough one. That was a tough one to swallow because, you think you're on a roll, you're this, you're that. It reminded me of a story. I think I did mention it already. When I was traveling, I sometimes would go on the road with this Paul Anka, and then I would just go from one to the other, or catch a flight, or some crazy jet set entertainment kind of a thing. So I remember I was in San Francisco with Paul Anka. That was a Sunday, and then I was going to go meet up with the Sinatra people in Albany, New York. So I went from as soon as Paul Anka went on the stage, after intermission, I went to the airport. I took a plane. But it wasn't a direct flight. I had to switch someplace, Detroit, Cleveland, somewhere. So I went San Francisco to the one city. Then the second leg was going to be from that city, Detroit, maybe Albany. And needless to say, I get there. Oh, Paul, you came, took a red eye. How's Paul Anka? You're here for the Sinatra show tonight. Wow. All the accolades. Oh, I'm the best, I'm the, the expression we used to say, he's the guy? Well, I was the guy that day. Oh, everybody's raving. Paulie this, Paulie that. Yeah, Paulie's exhausted. No sleep. So I'm stumbling around with the show was ready to go. All the equipment was in. I mean, sound check. So one of my jobs usually was to collect the fee, whatever the fee was, get the promoter, or the building would give you a check for Frank Sinatra. And I also, at these big arenas, we would give them programs to sell, like these Sinatra books. And I would turn them over to the concessions people in these arenas. They would, I gave them 50 cases of, do the math. Then at the end of the night, they give you the balance, and then they send you a check or whatever. So that was part of my gig, getting the receipt from the concessions guy of how many books he received. So I'm in there with the guy, and at the same time, somebody gives me the check in that room for Frank Sinatra for the performance. Okay, take the check, open my suit coat. I put it into the inside pocket in my suit jacket, and off I go. And I just went and took a deep breath for a little bit. About an hour later, they call me. They got word to the backstage that I dropped something in the concessions room. You better come on back. You dropped an envelope. Sure as shit, I dropped the Sinatra fee, the check on. I didn't have it. I didn't check. It was on the floor. Luckily, that some citizen or just picked it up and brought it to them. And they called me and I got the check. So that's an example of when you think you're on top of the ladder, there's no more rungs to go up. There's only one way to go. And down I went. So that was a reality check of immense. I mean, to go and have to say, Sinatra finished singing and we got no money in our pocket. Maybe they got to get us a new check, or it could have been bad. Could have been bad. So I always think of that story to sort of keep myself in line. When you think you're the guy, you're not really the guy. That's a good expression. It seems to fit. What else we got coming up? Where are we? Are we doing good?
Yeah, 42 minutes.
42 minutes. Boy, I could talk. All righty. One more thing I'm gonna throw out there for you guys. Next Wednesday, we're gonna have a nice Hoffman Street dinner right here in Westchester, and I'm real excited for it because we haven't had one since I think before the pandemic, and everybody that was at that previous one is going to make it to this one, and a few more people. So I'm real excited about that. We'll really be scraping up some Hartford Street. I looked at all the names and where they lived. It seemed like almost every one of these guys that have been coming to this dinner, if you take Hoffman Street from Fordham Road to 188th, with 189th in between, almost everybody lived on Hoffman Street, and the few other folks were either on the first block of 189th and even 188th. So within 4 square blocks, we're going to have a dinner with about, I'm hoping about 18 guys. So we'll have a full report on that. Matt's going to come. I don't know if we're going to do any video, but we're going to take a lot of pictures, and then I'll try to remember what we talked about and what guys said and what they remembered. So we're real excited about that. And what else we got, Matt? Wrapping up, exit episode 14. I'm shocked already.
Yeah.
So thanks everybody for listening. Spread the word. Kick the Can podcast. Right, Matt? Let's wrap up. Thanks for helping me out, and we'll take it from there.
Bye-bye.
Thanks a lot, everybody.